How's it going, everybody? Heath Matthews here with Franklin Tractor. Today we just want to take a moment and answer something that we've been meaning to do for a long time, and that's kind of give a walk around and point out the differences between our C337 track machine and our C345 track machine. We get asked the same questions over and over as salespeople because there are a lot of similarities between these two models, and both are great options depending on what you're going to be doing with the machine. So today we're going to take a minute and lay that out for you. All right, so where we usually start from the sales perspective is we talk with the customer and we want to know what this customer is going to be doing with this machine. What's going to be its primary application, if you will. So one of the main differences between these two machines is horsepower. 345 is going to be a 90 horsepower machine, while our 337 will be a 74 horsepower machine. So that's one of the main differences there. This machine will have a DEF system on it due to its horsepower. Our 337 is exempt from the DEF system. So that, along with the hydraulic lift capacity of the machines. The 345, being the 90 horse, will have 4,500 pounds of lift capacity at 50% tip over, whereas our 337 will have 3,700 pounds at 50% tip over. So stronger hydraulic system, more horsepower. Okay, so since we're on the subject of pointing out some of the differences, let's continue on with that. So both machines are equipped with high flow hydraulics. So that means that you can run a mulcher, cold planer if you're an asphalt guy. Any high flow attachments can be hooked up to these machines. The 337 is going to put out 37 gallons per minute. 345 is going to put out 39 gallons per minute. Pretty similar, right? So where the difference is, though, there is a spec that gets overlooked a lot, and that is your operating pressure. So how much pressure does your flow have while it's coming through the system? That's where our 90 horse machine is going to stand out. It's going to put 3,400 pounds PSI of hydraulic pressure through the lines, whereas the 337 is going to be around 2,900. So that's going to make a difference when you're doing applications like running a mulching head. This machine is fully capable of running a mulching head. It will do it. You do need to match the mulching head to the machine and that sort of thing. But where the 337 will lack a little bit is spinning up that head. So the 90 horsepower machine is going to, with its extra horsepower, slightly more hydraulic flow, and its higher pressure rating, it's going to spin up a mulching head or a brush cutter a little more efficiently, a little easier than the 337 will do it. Why this matters to a guy would be a guy who is, if you're mulching full time with this machine, then time is money. You know, the quicker that you can spin the head back up and continue mulching, the quicker you can finish the job, and therefore, you know, make your operation just more efficient in general. So that's one of the main questions that we come to when we're talking to a new customer and they've landed between these two machines is, what are we going to use it for? If this machine is going to be running a mulching head 50-60% of its time, we usually look more toward the 345 because that's a heavily used machine for mulching. If it's a situation where you're just going to be using a mulching head here and there, maybe on your own property, where time is not always of the essence, then again, the 337 is more than capable of running that implement, and it will do very well with it once you match it up to the machine. So that is probably the number one thing that determines whether we go 337 or 345 route. As far as other performance metrics, I mean, if you're talking loading tandems, pushing dirt, these machines both will accomplish many of those tasks relatively the same. You know, more horsepower is never necessarily a bad thing, but some other things that we're going to be talking about with that customer as we're deciding which of these we go with is going to be our budget. You know, the extra horsepower, the extra lift capacity will come at a price point. And between these two machines, it's roughly about $10,000 more for the 345. So sometimes there's a there's a cost associated with that. So a lot of times a customer looking at their budget and what they're planning on doing with it may find that the 337 gives them 90 to 95% of the capabilities of the larger machine at a better price point. So we're really here just to help kind of guide you and give you the information that you need and understand what you're trying to do with it to make the best decision for your purchase.